Welcome back to TRBusiness's Adapt and Survive Skype video interview series. This episode, I speak to Ioannis Metsovitis. He's a Senior Vice President Operations at Hamad International Airport. Welcome. Can you begin by firstly describing the operational situation at Hamad International Airport? We know that it's been particularly active on the cargo side in recent months, but what's the passenger traffic situation looking like? Is it getting healthier?
Actually, things are picking up again, slowly, but definitely things are moving again. We see definitely more passengers. We see a bit more traffic during the peaks. Roughly, to give you an indication, we're seeing about 3 times more passengers than we used to see in May when we hit the absolute bottom. It's not back to anything close to what we had before the crisis, but certainly we can say that people are moving again.
Let's turn to Hamad's operations recovery plan. We know that the airport's introduced a range of health and safety measures to account for post-COVID recovery in air travel, including disinfection, robotics, and advanced thermal screening technologies and advanced thermal screening helmets. Tell us how those technologies have been received by passengers and indeed airport staff implementing them.
Look, if you allow me, I would like to also go a little bit into the strategic aspect of our recovery plan. For us, the decision was to rebuild confidence for the traveling public, as well as staff working at the airport. It was critical that people feel safe when they travel through Hamad International Airport. Our strategy, therefore, was implemented at many levels, tactical levels. We looked at the equipment, we looked at processes, we looked at training, we looked at procedures. We went through all the touch points that anyone can come in contact with through their journey or their stay at the airport, be it passengers or staff. You rightly said thermal cameras, smart helmets. All these equipments are helping us basically control and make sure that the travel process through the airport is safe. Anyone who enters the building, either as an arriving passenger or a connecting traveler, is going in front of a camera. We also do random screening during the flow of passengers using smart helmets, and that helps us have a repetitive process of people being checked for their current condition. We believe that helps, and people have reacted very positively to that. They believe when they see a person wearing one of those helmets, or when they have to go in front of a camera, that someone is minding their health and is making sure that the process is taking place in a safe manner.
It is indeed about instilling confidence in air travel. Do you foresee these technologies and other new technologies continuing in this vein at Hamad Airport for the foreseeable future?
Absolutely. There will be, I hope, very quickly a medicine that will be found or a vaccine that will be created to fight the specific virus. But I think use of technology in day-to-day operations at an airport or flying on an airline will always now be part of our life. I don't think we will go back to a completely technology-free environment with what concerns health and safety.
Let's talk about the support that Hamad has pledged to its partners during this crisis, particularly on the retail side. Qatar Duty Free, for instance. How have you been supporting Qatar Duty Free and other retailers to adopt these new health and safety protocols, not only from a protection perspective, but indeed to ensure that passengers are maximising the opportunity to spend in a safe fashion?
It's been a very interactive process. Obviously, as an airport operator, you have to work closely with your commercial and F&B partners to understand their business model and exactly go into the detail. I call it look under the hood to see what it is exactly they do to help them. So for us, it was a matter of developing various technologies. What we want to do is to ensure that we go into a touchless environment when it goes about retail or F&B. I believe travelers and indeed staff feel a lot more comfortable when they can select the product without actually touching it. So touch is still a very important, human behavior, and our effort is to try to supplement that human behavior using technology, and indeed slowly replace it. So we promote, for example, touchless payments. We promote virtual shopping wherever this is possible. So, for example, if I pick a new piece of cloth, can I see it on me without actually having to wear it? That gives me more confidence that I can still see what clothes would look like on me without actually having to go into a divestment room, a changing room, putting that new product, and then actually feeling that somehow someone may have worn that same piece of cloth a while ago. I think it's all about building confidence. So technology has helped us a lot in that respect.
Retail commercial development is a vitally important jewel in the crown for Hamad Airport's ongoing expansion, a huge project taking place over the coming years, with 11,720 square meters of retail coming on board, as we know, in due course. Phase A of the construction, if I'm not mistaken, was meant to begin early this year. What's the current status of the expansion project? And are you confident that you can keep to the same timescales that you set out ahead of the World Cup in 2022?
Absolutely. For us, in that negative environment, we never took our foot off the gas pedal. Actually, we used the whatever opportunity we could to accelerate the projects, to be sure we would give ourselves a bit more headroom as far as scheduling is concerned, to recover any potential delays we may see further down the line. But for the time being, we're on schedule, and we're confident we'll be ready for 2022.
Okay. So, final question, Mr. Metsovitis. Looking ahead, we spoke about it a bit earlier about technologies. What new and emerging technologies for Hamad will be important in the coming months and year, given the current situation? And how are you preparing for the return to normal, if we can call it that, air travel?
For us, there will be a new normal. I think this is what we have to expect. For us, the important new technologies we're working on is whatever has to do with biometrics. So we have biometrics, especially facial recognition. We have great belief in the possibilities that this technology affords us, as it is very secure and given the speeds that you can achieve using camera technology, also very friendly for the passengers when they travel through Hamad International Airport. So we want to work on this over the next few years, which will hopefully also help us deal with the heavy volume of passengers we expect to see during the 2022 championship.
And as I understand, there is an important period coming up in August in terms of passengers, arrivals, beginning to come back. Can you just tell us a little bit about what that means for the airport?
For us, it's another project we have to be ready for. We expect a serious and a big influx of passengers to return to the country, eager to be back in Qatar. But of course, for us, it's important that when they come back to the country, the process is trouble-free. So after so many months of heavy restrictions on people entering the country, managing those flows properly, including whatever testing may be required, happens in a friendly and comfortable environment.
Okay, well, we will make sure we're tracking those developments with interest and informing our viewers and readers of all the latest technologies and emerging developments that are happening at Hamad. Mr. Metsovitis, thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much, Luke.